Welcome to another episode of Shipper War, my review of Evil Dead.
Shipper War. When ship happens, I'm there.
Now, I just want to warn you guys, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. If you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you stop this video, go watch the movie, and then come back and you can then not be spoiled because you already seen the movie. So with that said, on to my review of Evil Dead. Now, I have to be honest and say, when I first saw the trailer to this movie, my mind was blown, and I started foaming at the mouth, and I was just like giddy as a schoolgirl because I was like, oh my gosh, this is probably the horror movie that I've been waiting for the longest time. It's gonna actually really scare me. So I was super excited just with that alone, but then to find out they didn't use CGI in this movie, or barely any CGI in this movie, I was just even more excited because I'm so tired of horror movies using too much CGI to the point it becomes cartoonish and laughable and just isn't scary at all for me. So I've had time to let this film sink in before I did this review because I didn't want to say anything I may regret later. So I was disappointed with this movie. Overall, I did enjoy the gore, I did enjoy the tone of the film, I did enjoy the visuals. I pretty much enjoyed everything where it didn't involve the actors acting while they were humans, not demons, and anything that didn't evolve around the main storyline of this film. Those two elements lacked. Now for the story itself, I was disappointed with it because I felt like they changed it from The Evil Dead, the original film, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that because, of course, you don't want it to be exactly like the original film. My main issue of what I didn't like of what they changed was how the demons came to be. And pretty much in the original film, the way they did it was that they found this recording in the cellar and they bring it upstairs and they're curious, they want to listen to it. So for a form of entertainment, they end up, pushing play on that recorder to listen to what it was. They get to the point where the guy tells the spell that brings the demons, and that's how the demons come to be. In this film, it wasn't like that. In this film, the 20-something-year-olds were there because one of the girls had drug problems, and they went there to have a rehab session for her, which is fine. And so they weren't there really to have fun. They were there just to focus on this girl and her issue, to support her. So when they find the Book of the Dead, this one particular character that they don't really give much of a backstory to, but all we know is he's a teacher. He suddenly has an interest in the book. Why he has an interest in the book, it's never explained in the movie. They never explain why he becomes interested in the book. He just does. So this book is covered up in plastic bags. It has barbed wires all around it. It's not easy to access. And this guy goes out of his way to find clippers to take the barbed wires off of it, to take the plastic bag off of it, to then get into the book, open the book. First page of the book, it states, do not open the book. Just basically don't do anything with this book. But again, they never give you a reason why this guy's so interested in this book. But he continues on, and he gets to the page where there's in clear letters stating do not copy anything and do not read anything out loud, and yet he goes and he copies down these chants to bring in the demons, and he reads them out loud because he couldn't read them in his head. He ends up reading them out loud, which I was thinking, why don't you just read the actual English words that you do know out loud to let you know maybe you shouldn't go that far. But again, if he didn't do that, the story wouldn't have progressed. But my issue is not having the story progress. It's my issue that they dumbed down this character. They never gave him a motive as to why he was interested in the book. They just, like, here, this is guy, he has a book in his hand and it looks really disgusting, but yet he's still going to be so curious that he wants to go through it. For what reason, we don't know, when he's supposed to be there helping out everybody else that's there with this chick who has a problem. And even one of the girls comes into the room and she's like, shouldn't you be downstairs helping your friends collect the cats and throw them away? And so he doesn't go help his friend out. He just sits at a desk looking through this book because he's curious about it for reasons we don't understand. This could have been solved so quickly if they just said that he was a teacher of some type of thing that would be interested in demons, and you would know why he would be interested in reading the book or at least going through the book. But they don't give us a reason for it. So that scene alone just completely brought down the movie for me. As for the romance in the movie, the lack of romance, one thing I liked about the original, they did have a romance and it worked really well. and it was a big part of the film. In this film, there is a romance, but it's almost non-existent because these characters are boyfriend and girlfriend, but you really don't know this outside from the fact that he goes, "That's my girl," and then she gets worried when he gets shot in the arm by a shotgun, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot they were dating." So they are dating, okay. But it wasn't anything that ruined the movie for me. I just thought I would bring that up. Was it really scary, as in did I not sleep that night after watching the movie? Absolutely not. I slept like a baby that night, which was unfortunate. I wanted to be really scared. I really didn't want that from this movie. I really wanted it to not be like the original The Evil Dead, where it was kind of campy in a sense because, you know, they were working with a low budget. I wanted it to be more of a serious, dark film with horror in it, like The Exorcist, which I thought was pretty damn scary, and it had a very serious tone to it. And I wanted that from this movie. So that's why I'm not completely satisfied with the film. But, of course, a lot of people don't go see these movies for the actual story. They don't go see these movies for, you know, for it to be like a perfect film. They go to see these movies to see something really gross. They will gross them out for 2 hours or an hour and 40. And they can come out and like high-five their friends and laugh about all the gore they saw and say, "I can't believe that happened." And that's pretty much what these movies are about. It's for a social event with a group of friends to have a good time, to be entertained. And this movie did that for me. So overall, it was good in that sense. But as an overall film, I was disappointed with it. But yeah, that's just me. So that is all for this episode of Ship of War. Goodbye, and until next time. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Now, I went into this movie